it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of C14 Dating. So we just had a really awkward moment, and we're gonna go ahead and continue on. He grabbed his trusty rugby ball and ushered me toward the forest. We moved to a clearing that still had the building in sight, but also provided enough space to throw the ball around without the chance of smashing a window. When we were about 10 paces apart, he performed an underhand throw. I caught the ball with only a minor fumble. At least the ball was easy to grip, even if my fingers felt stubby holding it, and I tossed it back. My aim was inaccurate, and I thought it would sail past Deandre. Instead, he leapt high into the air and caught it with one hand. Sheesh, he made it look so easy. Now I was tempted to toss it haphazardly to test his reflexes. The simple activity lost its appeal, though, and even Deandre sensed it.
Want to try to run the ball past me?
My eyes sized up his height and physique. You're not going to try and tackle me, right?
It'll be one-touch rugby. It's as harmless as playing tag.
I admit I was curious to see a match between our agility. A dancer versus a rugby player. At least it didn't involve catching. Using the ball, Deandre gestured to the haystack behind me.
That'll be the goal line for me. You score or try, or think touchdown in American terms, if you can make it to the two large trees behind me.
To help indicate my goal, he tied his hoodie to one of the trees.
You don't need to be all stylish and hurl yourself to the ground while scoring. As soon as you catch it, start running. Ready, Mel?
He leaned over as he threw the ball underhandedly. It was intentionally a few paces short to encourage me to sprint. As soon as my hands clasped the ball, I hugged it to my chest and dashed left. He side-shuffled toward me, intending to block me off. When I zigzagged to the right, he started to close the distance. My eyes darted about for an opening. His arm extended out and I practically dove under it, using my height to my advantage. He staggered forward, not used to dealing with someone of my frame. Whoa, can't believe that worked. I glanced back to see if he recovered from my surprise duck. Huh? Oh my god! Oh, that's great! Look at his face, just oh. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, I love it. Oh my god. Okay. That sheer look of determination was intimidating. My legs pumped faster, and I felt a flick of hope as I zoomed toward the end goal. My vision got blocked by a moving obstacle, and my feet were lifted into the air as strong arms hugged me close. Look at how adorable he is. She's like, Okay, I love his chibis. They're the cutest ever. I was now going in the complete opposite direction. The ball sandwiched between us. I was unable to move my arms to force the ball free. He lied about the tag analogy. Seconds later, I felt my back hit the soft haystack, but I resolved to keep the ball out of his possession.
Score.
It doesn't count if the ball doesn't touch the hay. Accepting my challenge, he tried to grab the ball, but I extended my arm over my head, keeping it beyond his reach. Using one hand to support himself, he practically hovered over me as his fingers brushed against the ball, causing it to fall out of my limp hold. I couldn't see the result, but I heard a faint sound of the ball hitting something solid. You win.
I don't think it touched the hay.
Okay, it doesn't count.
Someone's fussy about the rules.
Oh. I let out a breathy laugh. We were both winded from the sprint. Unwittingly, his fingers grazed against mine, and he halted to gauge my reaction. I wrapped my fingers around his own, giving them a gentle squeeze. He responded with the same gesture before slowly lowering his face toward mine, his lips slightly parted. A blaring tune jolted us out of our trance, and he hastily fished out his phone, uttering an apology as he hit the call button.
Hello?
I heard a deep, muffled voice from the other end, speaking French. Deandre responded cheerfully, although his eyebrows furrowed from the interruption. While he talked, I made funny faces in an attempt to lighten the mood. He tried to ignore me, but his expression strained to stay neutral after I stuck out my tongue. He retaliated by tickling my stomach, and I giggled. J'entends quelqu'un, je ne suis pas vous interrompre au milieu de quelque chose, non? Vous pouvez dire que peu. Elle a l'air maintenant. Elle est. Deandre gave my hand another affectionate squeeze. At least he made it obvious the discussion was about me. Deandre gave him a few disengaged responses and then cut the call. He groaned, but the smile returned to his face. Who was that?
My brother. He wants the car. Now. I think he can afford to wait a few minutes.
His face inched toward mine again, only for another obnoxious tune to chime. Exasperated, he flopped onto the hay next to me, and I laughed at the timing. What is it now?
It's dinner. We should head back now, unless you want to improvise flambe.
Maybe another time.
That was cute. Poor them, though.
Once Deandre had removed the dish from the oven and placed it on the stove to cool, we moved toward the gate entrance.
Sorry about that. I wanted to stay a little longer, but my brother had dibs on the car first.
I guess you could have taken the train.
It was easier to carry the ingredients in the car. At least you'll have something to last you the weekend. I promise it tastes even better if it's a day or two old.
You made it before?
I wanted to make sure it tasted good. My family were the test subjects. Sorry for not dining then dashing. I'll see you Monday morning.
He leaned over for the routine cheek kiss and delivered a light peck. Halfway through the custom, he paused before my face, then impulsively brushed his lips against mine instead. It only lasted a second, but the touch sent an electric current through me, and my eyes widened in response. When we separated, he reluctantly walked toward the car.
Have a good evening, Mel.
You too, Deandre. Thanks for the meal. I know it'll taste great.
I feel for them. That sucks. Oh, the interruptions. We didn't get to see their first kiss, though. I'm a little sad about it. Let's see. Is there anything in particular I need to be doing? I think it's fine. Week 8, yeah? So lab, volunteer, lab, some catch, cave, volunteer, cave again. Let's do some gaming. Cave, volunteer, study, dance, email home. Sound good to me? Sounds good for me. Let's see how we do here. Yay, some success. Oh, and we've got a new little cutscene going on here, so let's go ahead and start.
And when turned on its side, I blanked out before my journal and blew out a defeated raspberry. I was doing my usual entry and had scooted my chair away from the lab group to focus. How else am I supposed to describe this rib bone besides that it's brown, dirty, and ribby? I adjusted the bone, resting it on the table. I was in the process of a little sketch of it as well.
Writing in your diary again?
Journal, and yes. I heard a chair pull up next to me, then Deandre casually wrapped his arms around my shoulders as he peered over to observe my work.
And you do this every day?
Any day that I got something worth writing about. Right now I'm summarizing what I've cleaned today.
Any mention of me?
It's not a diary, but I probably mentioned you a few times in passing, maybe. I stuck out my tongue playfully as his eyes skimmed my pages.
Grammatical error, Mel.
He pressed his thumb against the page right under its side.
You can remove the apostrophe, since it's a possessive determiner, not a contraction.
And that's... He picked up the rib to demonstrate.
When you use its, always think of it as it is, like it is a bone. Well, an example of the possessive form of it is, the bone, buried its dog. What?
That's a terrible example.
Okay, improvising isn't my strong suit, and I'm too stuck on the dog buried its bone example. I'm learning English well. Just teaching it is a different matter.
I giggled and delicately erased the apostrophe. At least Sherry didn't grade me for grammar and spelling. Well, I thought you did a great job, even without any classes and lessons prepared in advance. Thanks for the tip. Should I be embarrassed?
English is my major. Archaeology's yours. I skimmed the rest of your page, and I don't know what mousterian or debitage mean.
Ah, you know how Rosemary works on stone tools? See, when I explained the terms, I heard Deandre sigh. Sorry, did I bore you?
It's not that. You really have to return this Saturday?
Yes.
America's so far. Wish you lived in Europe at least.
Should I move over here?
You got family and school back home. It wouldn't be right for you to leave everything behind.
Then you move to California.
Ugh, I can't. I finally got my rugby career taking off here and have been away from my family long enough.
Then we both moved to Portugal. He chuckled and ruffled my hair affectionately.
Well, that's one way to compromise equally.
We heard the door creak as Kyler exited the museum and passed us. He paused briefly, taking notice of Deandre, who still hugged me from behind.
I know, it's not what it looks like. Actually, it is.
To reaffirm, Deandre gave me a brief squeeze before loosening his hug.
Ah, figures. You two were made for each other.
Once Kyler left, I couldn't help but grin and refer back to Deandre's answer. Oh, is it now?
Well, if you're okay with the long distance. I'm still wrestling with the idea myself.
I tilted my head back, deep in thought. I appreciated Deandre's honesty, and it wasn't an easy choice. When I broke up with my ex, I was 18, and we still both lived in the same state. Would it be any different now that I was a little older? I've grown since then, right?
Ahem.
Deandre jolted upward with perfect posture as my professor stared disapprovingly. Despite his size, he looked like a child who had been caught stealing a cookie for dinner. I'd appreciate it if you refrained from making a move on my student while she's learning.
Of course, ma'am. I didn't mean any disrespect by it, honest. I was just, I promise not to do it again.
Thank you. This is her final week, and it is of the utmost importance that she concentrates. And you should do the same. You've improved significantly since you first started, Deandre, but I only assist students who are serious about the elective.
I understand. I apologize for my behavior, and I'll stay focused from now on.
I was surprised by how polite Deandre was. He did mention how strict the teachers were here. He must be used to it.
I won't distract Mel during her lessons.
Deandre gave me a sly wink as he left for the lab, and I barely hid my knowing smile before turning to Sherry. Ah, to be young again, right? Don't act like you're not guilty. It takes two, you know. I'm not discouraging your relationship with him, but there's a time and a place for everything. You're right. I promise to stay focused as well. Thank you. You can start by finishing your journal.
That was cute. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.